I'm your teacher Vaishnavi Singh, and today we are going to learn about letters. I think you all have must written letters once in your life till now. So I think that today's topic is really familiar to all of you. We have written many letters to our dear ones, to our family members, to our friends, to the teacher, to the principal, many letters to news editors, and many more. For bank, checks, etc. etc. We have heard that we need to write applications in the offices and need to write letters to tell either we are happy or not, either we have joined any event or not about our life. So let's learn about letters. Today I am going to teach you what letters actually are, what is the format of writing a letter, how many times you can write a letter, and where you can give those letters for an initial change. So let's start with letters. So letters. There are two types of letters we are going to study here. The two types of letters are formal and informal. We must understand the difference between these two types of letters. As you all know that formal, let's consider our clothing style, our dressing style. The formal is something that we wear in offices to respected peoples and in meetings. I am talking about your clothes, your dressing sense. Let's relate it with the letter. The letter you are writing to the offices, to editors or any business meetings is called formal letter. Whereas in informal letter, we write about ourselves, about our well-beings, about knowing the health of our parents, our dear friends, about telling them exciting news about our life. We write informal letters. I hope you all have understood the difference between formal letter and informal letter. Today we are going to study mainly formal letters, and I am going to teach you how you can score good marks in your class by understanding formal letters. So let's begin the formal letters. The format of formal letters include 5 marks. In your exam, the weightage of formal letter is 5 marks. You can good score your marks by understanding how these 5 marks are distributed. Firstly, the 2 marks we give to 2 marks you get for your content. 2 marks for your expressions of writing. And 1 mark for format. I am going to tell you a little point that you can remember, that is, if in question paper you understand the question, or by chance if you don't understand it and make only the format, you won't get 1 mark. I hope you get it right. Without content, you are not getting any marks in the exam. Whole 5 marks dependent on the content, expression and format. Just like maths, if you are writing formula, you get 0.5 marks or 1 marks easily. But not with the English. You have to make the format look good with its content. Then only you are going to score good marks. Let us know formal letters, where we need to write formal letters, what is the word expression called here, what is content and what is format. First of all, I would like to tell you the content. Content is something you need to write or mention in your letter. With the correct use of grammar and spellings, that is expression of writing. The correct use of grammar and spellings makes you the expression. We all know about expressions. This is my expression. I am happy. Somebody will be sad. Somebody is angry. These are our expressions. But how can we show it in our writing skill? In writing skill, we need to make our grammar, spellings correct so that we get 2 marks in our content and expression. Now, what is format? Format is something you need to mold your thoughts in. Have you heard about molding? Have you heard about any mold? Yes, I have heard a gujia mold, a modak mold. So these formats works in the same pace. Like your thoughts need to be fitted in this format and it will take the shape of whatever you are writing. Just consider you are thinking about anything and put it in a format of notice. You have something, your topic is environmental day, and now you need to put it in a notice. What do? Firstly, you will think and put that thought in the mode of notice, in the format of notice writing. That will become notice. Same as if you think of any thought on environmental day and put it in a paragraph writing format, so you are going to write a paragraph. If you put your thoughts of environmental day in letter writing, you are telling about the celebration happened to your sister, to your brother, about the celebration happened in the environmental day, then put your content in the format of informal writing, informal letter. Then you are going to write informal letters. So the format is a kind of mold. The mold that takes the shape of your thoughts. Whichever mold you are taking, your shape of thoughts will become the same. So I hope you guys have understood these 3 things. Let's move on to the format of formal letters. So we are understanding about formal letters. As I have already told you that we can write formal letters for office use, for business and applications. Now I am going to tell you about the format of formal letters. In the format, first thing that we need to write is sender's address. Sender's address means the person who is writing the letter. Whoever writing the letter must mention their address. Means if in your questions it is given, sometimes it is given and sometimes you need to write. Sender's address. I hope you all have got it. Sender's address is the address of the person writing the letter. Now, next thing comes is date. The next thing is receiver's address. Receiver's address stands for the person whom you are writing the letter or whom the subject is writing the letter. Next is subject of writing. That means a what your letter is. Why are you writing the letter? What is the topic of the letter? This is what we call subject of the letter. Next is salutation. In salutation, we mention respected sir, ma'am, respectfully, means you are providing a gesture to gratitude your official use or the official you are writing the letter. The gratitude you show here, salutation can be written as respected sir or ma'am. The next thing comes here is the body. Body of the letter means the content you are writing. Whatever content you are writing in your letter is the body of the letter, which goes about 120 to 150 words. If there is word limit in your question paper, then you need to write according to the word limit given in your question paper. But if there is no word limit, then you need to write it about 120 words. After that, you need to give a complimentary closing. Complimentary closing includes your name, your signature, your designation, yours sincerely, yours faithful. These things are called complimentary closing required as per your letter. In formal letters, these are the things we need to write. And remember one thing, we need to give a space between every single line. Please, I tell you, you must leave one line after writing each and every part of this. So I am going to tell you each and every detail about this format. Let's begin with address. The format of writing an address must be from smaller area to bigger area. I hope you all have gotten me right that you need to mention your house number first, your street number, and then you need to give your ward number and then your area, if anything is nearby you, if there is any landmark, then you need to move outer, that is your district, and then your state. After this, we need to write our pin code. So I hope you all have gotten me that address needs to be written on this basis of from smaller to larger areas. This is the format of writing correct address. This address should go in 3 lines. Both the addresses must be written in 3 lines. Now I am going to tell you about date format. How you are going to write a date? You can choose any 3 of the type. The first type is you can write digits, month, and year. Or you can write it or either you can use any type of date to be mentioned. Later on, the subject, the salutation, you all have understood that what subject or what salutation you need to use in your formal letter. Now let's move on to the body of the letter, which contains of 3 paragraphs. what these three paragraphs are meant for. The first paragraph is introducing yourself. About an introduction to yourself, from where you belong, whatever your class is, whatever your street is, whatever you are, must be mentioned in the paragraph 1. Then the paragraph 2 needs to be done in detailing of the letter, detailing of your topic. Means all the story that you are writing, all the things, all the facts you want to give to the letter, to the person, you need to write it in the paragraph 2. I hope you all are getting me. In the last paragraph, you need to mention some suggestions or asking for doing your work as fast as possible, as soon as possible, and asking for more suggestions regarding your topic. So these are the three paragraphs you need to write as content of your letter. The next thing is complimentary closing. I have already told you your sincerely, your name, your designation, your post must be written in this complimentary closing. This is how a letter needs to be written. Let's move on. Let's move on to our next topic, that is I'm going to tell you about the difference between formal letter format and informal letter format. So informal letters and formal letters, what are the major differences between these two letters? Let's understand. In formal and informal letter, you both need to write sender address. Sender address should be in both of the letters. Let's write it down here. The date should need to be mentioned either in both of these letters. Then receiver's address is must in both of the letters. Here comes the trickiest part. You don't need to mention any subject to your dear ones because there can be more subjects in your content. I can't tell you that you're going to give subject to your parents about telling how your life going in the outer city. There must be some good news, there must be some bad news. There is no something related to any subject or any topic. You can't stand to your topics while you are writing to your dear ones, while you are writing informal letters. So let's cross subject in informal letters. You don't need to write subject in informal letters. Then here comes the salutation. Salutation you need to give to your parents like Namaste Papa Mummy, dear friend, dear loved ones, dear sister, dear brother. So here you need to write dear or Namaste. The next thing comes is body of the letter. Again, you need to mention the body of the letter in 3 or 4 paragraphs. In 3 paragraphs, we can write as much as we want. In 3 paragraphs, we divide it like firstly, we need to introduce, we need to ask our parents how they are, about how they are going, and thinking or hoping of they all are fine. Later, we need to mention our things, whatever we are writing to that letter, we need to mention all the details in the second paragraph, and in third paragraph, we need to show our love to our elders, our respect to our elders, and asking for writing them back. So these are the 3 paragraphs or body of the informal letter. Next thing, we need to do a complimentary closing. Also here, the complimentary closing include your name, and by your names, I think your dear ones and your parents knows you about your name only. You can also use your nicknames because sometimes our dear ones call us by our nicknames. So here we need to do a complimentary closing. format of formal letter and informal letter, we must conclude that only subject is excluded from the format of formal letter to informal letter. So I hope you guys have understood the types of letter you need to write in formal and informal and what is the format of writing. In next video, I am going to tell you about how to write a letter to editor and how to write a job application letter. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you must have got something new about letters, about the formats, and keep learning from this channel. Signing off, Vaishnavi Singh.